mayor got an invitation to Tuesday's State of the Union address, courtesy of Congressman Dean Phillips. Before the president's speech, the two recorded a video that they shared on Twitter.
In an era of increasing partisanship and division, represented in no small part by even tonight's State of the Union address, we're on a mission to work together.
Working together to secure a pathway to citizenship for Liberians prompted Representative Dean Phillips to invite Brooklyn Park Mayor Jeffrey Lunde to be his guest. Lunde said reaching across the aisle is key, and even though divisiveness was seen at the address, he says he still has hope that the country can start to work together again.
If people can see that, hey, we got immigration reform for Liberians in the most divisive time and one of the most divisive issues, and yet we got it through by focusing. So I'm an optimist.
Lunde said that despite the party bickering, just being at the State of the Union was for him a historic event. A bipartisan group of state lawmakers, meanwhile, plan to introduce a bill to protect the privacy of Minnesota voters for presidential primaries. Under the current system, voters must request a ballot of one of the political parties. The parties can then access every voter's party preference and can make that information public. It's seen as a way to make sure there's no organized mischief and crossover voting among parties. Legislation proposed would restrict information that gets released, including allowing voters to opt out of having their party preference shared. Some lawmakers say the privacy issue has limited early voter turnout.
I believe that this bill that we have today does respect the practical rules of the national parties and indeed honors the right to privacy of Minnesota voters, Democrats and Republicans.
Senator Ann Rest of New Hope says there's time to put the law into effect for the March 3rd presidential primary. Back on New Year's Eve, a Crystal Public Works employee went above the call of duty after he came across a house fire while he was out plowing the roads. Now, more than a month later, he's getting much-deserved recognition. Here's Delane Cleveland.
During the early morning hours of December 31st, a dozen plows from the city of Crystal hit the streets to remove 4 inches of snow that fell the night before. One of the drivers came across this home at the corner of 62nd and Florida Avenue.
Observed what he thought looked to be a suspicious yellow color coming out of the window. He pulled up, took some time to observe what's going on. About that time, the window actually exploded out and he saw the fire flames extending out of the window.
That was Crystal Public Works Director Mark Ray describing how the employee notified him about the fire. The driver then provided warmth and comfort to the resident of the home as they waited for the fire department.
I'm extremely proud of our employee, and he's definitely reflective of the compassion we have for our residents here in the city of Crystal.
While the employee's Plow was present at the news conference, the driver himself didn't want the attention.
I told him about our little interview today, and he thanked me graciously for not bringing him out here.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council.
But Tuesday night at Crystal City Hall,
I'd like to ask John Nelson to come up.
That city employee received the chief's commendation from the West Metro Fire District.
So I just want to thank him very much.
During the city council meeting.
My role was actually quite small, but I do appreciate that we worked together as a unit, and before you knew it, help was on the way, and we were able to get things under control.
It was a case of being at the right place at the right time, but most of all, doing the right thing.
Certainly, anybody else in that situation would have done the same thing.
In Crystal, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Investigators from the West Metro Fire Department say the New Year's Eve house fire was the result of a candle that tipped over in the basement. We'd like to think that academic learning first happens in preschool or maybe in kindergarten, but actually parents are a child's first teachers. Robbinsdale Area Schools uses that fact to guide their robust early childhood education program. We shine a light on that in today's School Spotlight.
It looks like you need a friend.
The lifelong skill of cultivating friendships begins early in life. It's part of the everyday lesson plan in this classroom of 4- and 5-year-olds.
Now we're trying to work on joint attention. One is obviously not quite ready to share their toys. So we try to implement some strategies that they can use to try to get what they want and try to solve their own problems with these solutions.
This classroom at the New Hope Learning Center includes children of all abilities.
Look at his ears.
It's good to see children in all areas of development. We're pretty lucky to have it.
Teachers team teach lessons in a way that seems seamless, but requires careful behind-the-scenes planning.
The teachers co-teach together, so they have that opportunity to collaborate and really work together and give the kids the opportunity to have that inclusive setting, to work on a lot of those social goals and have that exposure.
But this is just one part of Robbinsdale area schools' early childhood program.
So Duck has a yellow block,
where the emphasis is not so much on what teachers can teach, but rather how educators can partner with parents starting at birth.
Starting very early on, early childhood family education with both the parents and the children together learning is phenomenal, and we hope to carry that through as they move on to our preschool programs.
What is next? Oh, it's purple.
That partnership is very evident in ECFE classes that involve parents and children learning together. Many classes offer sibling care and tuition on a sliding scale, two factors that make a variety of early childhood services more accessible for everyone.
Building those connections through our parent educators and our home visits, all of those things really support not only the child but the family. I think it's always about those wraparound services.
The registration period for next school year for the Robbinsdale Early Childhood Program opened up on Tuesday. And before we go to break, it sure is nice to see the sun outside, isn't it? Enjoy this picture.
Welcome back. Wednesday marked an important day in the lives of some local high school athletes who will continue their athletics at the next level. It's one of the NCAA's National Signing Days, and at Maple Grove High School, 9 student athletes signed national letters of intent to play college sports at either the Division I or Division II level. A total of 7 sports and 8 universities were represented among the 9 Crimson seniors. Meanwhile, at Wayzata, 10 young men and women signed their letters of intent, including 6 from the Trojans' state championship football team and the first student athlete ever from the school to receive a scholarship for rugby. Here's what a few of the student athletes had to say on their big day.
It's definitely been a day that I've been looking forward to for a really long time, and I'm just glad that I can make it official and kind of look forward to my next 4 years at NDSU.
All the swimmers that go there always improve, always find like their next gear up. And what drew me to the school was the smaller school, so definitely gonna like the smaller campus feel, and it's a great area around it.
I like Mankato football. The coaches seem very supportive. They know my goals for college and after college. They're very supportive of that, and they're very patient with me. I really enjoyed the coaching staff there. They really made me feel like home. They made me feel loved. They made me feel the same as like if it was Wayzata High School, which I loved all my coaches here. And also, it's not extremely far away from home, so if I ever wanted to go and see my mom, I'd have the ability to. She could always come up and watch my games, which is what we've planned for the future.
Congrats to all the signees. Girls section hockey tournaments are underway. The Armstrong-Cooper Wings are in Class A this postseason and faced off against Minneapolis in the first round of the Section 5A tourney. The Novas come out firing, but AC junior goalie Lindsay Botts is dialed in. She stops all 19 Minneapolis shots in the first period, and it's scoreless after 1. More nice work by Botts in the second period as she shuts out the Novas for another 17 minutes, but they score 4 times in the third to end Armstrong-Cooper's season. Botts finishes the game with 43 saves. To boys basketball now, Park Center leads the Northwest Suburban Conference West Division standings by a game, and the Pirates look to keep that lead as they played at rival Osseo. Tariq Henry finds Bernard Amoria on a nice baseline cut for the layup as the Osseo goes up 4-0 early. The Park Center starts a run. David Ejad Mbola pulls up for 3, and the Pirates go up 10-4. And then Big Dane Danja gets a high screen, and look out below as he throws down the reverse jam. 15 for Danja. Joshua Brown will get the steal for PC, and then he stops and pops a 3. He nets 10 points, and it's 21-7 Pirates. Osseo tries to battle back. Lewis Carger loses it briefly but recovers for the reverse layup. Park Center leads by 11 at half, and they win by that margin, 56-45. Park Center is the final. After hitting rough waters to start the new year, the Park Center girls basketball team is on a 5-game win streak and hope to make it 6 against district rival Osseo on Tuesday. Park Center's Adelia McKenzie gets the steal and goes all the way for 2. PC 8th grader Olivia McGill is left wide open and she cracks a 3-pointer. Lauren Frost will find the open shooter again. This time it's Kalia Cox knocking down the money ball. Pirates go up 18-4. McGill's tough defense triggers the break, and it's another nice assist by Frost as she hits McKenzie. McKenzie finishes with 27 points to lead all scorers. PC is up by 20 points at halftime. Second half, Frost gets the steal and takes it herself this time as PC keeps rolling. And speaking of rolling, Aaliyah Ragulin and Shadaza Lynn Chapman run a nice pick and roll as Pirates cage the Orioles. 68-45 is the final. That'll do it for sports. More news after this.